Nou is dit 'n groot voorreg om bietjie met geredde kos te werk vandag en saam met my is Sjef Pinky Tshabalala. Sy is van SA Harvest en al die kos wat ons vandag maak is kos wat weggegooi sou word wat ons nou uiteindelik gaan gebruik. And we can basically say it's waste to wonder. It's been upcycled and it looks lovely. It's a tshabalala with pap and chicken and everything on this plate. Is food that has been saved.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you want to maybe start and then we talk about where this food has actually come from? Has it come from farms or from shops? How does SA Harvest rescue these foods?
Okay, so SA Harvest works with different retailers and farmers and donors that would rather take food that would have went to landfill or waste, and we donate it to our beneficiaries that need the food to survive, because the problem is not the food. The problem is how do we get the food to the beneficiaries? You know, we have enough food to feed people that go to bed hungry, you know, but the problem is the food going to waste, and that's where SA Harvest comes in, and they kind of aid that food and they rescue it. Yeah.
And they do it with trucks that has the right temperature and the right equipment and sanitary standards to get the food to people in a very short time to make sure that it's still fine and edible. So that it can feed hungry mouths.
Yes.
Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing.
Oh, it smells very good. What have you poured in here?
So here I've just poured my onions in and a bit of garlic and thyme with some oil. I'm making chakalaka, so it's a favorite in braais, in homes. You know, when you want to make a lunch, chakalaka is always the go-to. Yes.
And the way you got into food, you've always loved food. I know that you cooked with your grandma or with your mother when you were younger.
I cooked with my grandma.
Yeah, and that's where your love for food started.
That's where my love for food started. I did cook with my mom as well, but mostly it was my grandmother's teachings.
Wow, and then you also had an interesting journey to eventually become a chef. Eventually you didn't have the funds, and then you started your own business, Just Munchies.
Yes.
And you cater and you bake, and now you are a qualified chef.
Yes.
And you do amazing work and you help change the world.
Yes, I do. I'm actually graduating in June.
Really?
Yes, I studied at Johannesburg Culinary and Pastry School, and that was through SA Harvest.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Sure. So we feed each other's mouths and hearts.
Yes, definitely.
And education.
Definitely.
Okay, what have you added here now?
So now I've added my carrots and my peppers. Most of the time, other cooks would prefer to cook it down until it's soft, but I love that crunch because it balances out the softness of the baked beans.
Me
so
too,
yeah, here I've added some spices as well, your curry powder, black pepper, Cajun spice. And yeah.
Is that your own mix of spices?
No, not yet. Not yet. Yes, it's in the works.
Very, very exciting. Okay, and I can smell that everything is coming together very nicely. What does chakalaka mean? What's the difference between a chakalaka and a normal tomato sauce that I would use on pap?
Okay, so with chakalaka, we prefer it to be quite spicy. There's carrots in there, there's peppers, there's onions in there. With the gravy, you add tomatoes, which is onion, then you add your stock cubes. But chakalaka, it's your vegetables and then a touch of your baked beans. So yeah, you can serve chakalaka with pap, dumpling, rice, chicken, literally anything that you can make.
And it actually doesn't need tomato.
No, it doesn't need tomato.
With the other sauce we use, tomato is sort of the base.
Yes.
Ooh, and some beans.
Yes.
I love beans.
You do? What's your favorite food to make, like at a braai or at home? Or?
I am a great fan of braai pap, that coarse braai pap, and a nice tomato sauce. But I also like a nice salad with lots of avos. I know it's avo season now. Yeah, so, and of course pap tart.
What's
Pap tart. What's pap tart in Engels? Pop-tart.
Oh, okay.
You
No,
know
I see.
the layers of pop and tomato sauce, and I think you can even do chakalaka,
Chakalaka, yeah.
and then the bacon and the cheese, and then you do another layer of
Oh,
those
okay.
three,
And then
you almost eat it like a lasagna.
Really? Do you
Yeah.
bake it in the oven?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never tried that. Sounds
Girl, you must try it.
interesting.
It's amazing. It's like a staple food.
So yeah, with this, I would keep it at this because I still want that crunchiness in
Yes.
there. But some people can take it further and cook down the onions, the carrots, everything until it's nice and soft. But yeah, this is how I love to serve my chakalaka. Yeah.
And here it is. Here's the final product, garnished with some celery.
Spring onion.
Spring onion.
Yes.
And you won't believe me, liewe kykers, hierdie is nie patats nie, dit is pap. How did you get it in this form?
So I cooked the pap and then I put it in cling wrap and then wrapped it up a bit and let it set. Then you cut it into this shape that you want it to be in.
Yeah.
And then you fry it in the same pan that you were frying the chicken in. So it has that flavor and it's cooked with butter and some herbs in it as well.
Nou kyk gou hierso hierdie pappie nê, as ek hom nou in hierdie chakalaka druk. Hey pappie, kyk net hierso. Kyk hoe hy lekker sousige en ek hoop hy brand so 'n bietjie. Jennifer knows I like spicy things.
Really?
And this is amazing. Thank you so much for coming and thank you for the good work you do. And gaan volg SA Harvest op hulle sosiale media's, gaan volg vir Pinky Tshabalala op haar sosiale media en onthou om jou kos te red en om respek te hê vir jou kos en maak meer chakalala. Pinky chakalaka. Bly ingeskakel.